Hey guys, it's Miriam with a Y. Do you ever have a vision in your head of exactly how you'd like your pour to turn out? Like you can see it and you're thinking, okay, if I put this color and that color in this order in my dirty cup, then hopefully I'll get a painting that looks like whatever has been floating around in my head. Well, I know that I want sort of a creamy earth tone background with sort of like a thin black spider webbing caused by cell walls with occasional pops of fall colors. That's what's been stuck in my head for a couple of days. So let's see if we can get that. I'm going to be using all Artist Loft colors. And I have mixed a drop of dimethicone into the black, the sienna, and the green. The yellow ochre, and the white, and this creamy color that I mixed by adding a drop of sienna into white. These three don't have any additive other than the mix that I always do with paint and Floetrol. That's it. So these three have the dimethicone additive. And let's see if I can make a cup that will give me the vision I have in my head. So the way I envision this, cream is going to be the predominant color. And the other colors, I only want occasional pops. So I am going to put sort of smallish amounts of those other colors. I'll break it up with white periodically. And then I want hints of black. And we'll end with cream. I have flipped my cup and I'm just going to spread a little bit of white around so that when I lift it, it can push against the white. And I'll make sure to put some in the corners so that I don't have trouble getting paint over to the corners and the edges. The cup has been flipped for a couple of minutes, so let's see how close we got. I'm just going to let some of this happen before I start to tilt. So far, I am happy with this. It is more cream than anything else, which is what I was after. There are more greeny cells. Definitely a little bit of black and some white. Okay. I'm encouraged. It'll be interesting to see what happens when I tilt. As usual, this dimethicone has not let me down cell-wise. All right, I'm going to start the tilt. Like what's happening here is really cool. It's just a little darker than I was expecting. I kind of wanted... yeah, this is a little bit of what I wanted, but I think I should have added more white. I think that what was in my head was definitely different. I have two areas where the paint hasn't met up with the white in the corner. So maybe a skewer to bring the paint out into that area so that they meet up with each other. I'm trying to figure out what is missing for me. I think it's white. Yeah, I'm loving this. I don't mind this white corner or that white corner, but this corner over here is a little, I don't know, bland, boring, something. I'm going to let it sit for a couple of minutes and see what it's going to do on its own before I fiddle with it. Not much has changed. I need to take care of this area. What I've done is I took sort of a razor blade and picked up some of the runoff, and I'm just going to try to add it here. More. Yeah, more like that. Let's see if I can tilt it or swipe it. Kind of want more variation in this line. I don't want it to be so straight. Yeah, that's better. So I think ultimately what I miss and wish there was a little more of, so I will add, is a little more pops of white. See this white vein here? I like that very much. And this one here, and there's a little bit going on there. I wish there was more, because I think it would brighten it up a little bit and give it a little bit more contrast. So let's make that happen. Now there's this really delicate little patch here that I think is so pretty. And there's a slightly bigger version of there. I like that too. This reminds me of a seashell, like an oyster or something. That's what I get out of this. So I don't want to interfere with that area, but I do want to give myself a little bit of white here to work with, and some there. I know it looks heavy now, but it'll become more delicate as I mess with it. A little here, and maybe that way too. Some, oops, I'm just making a bubble here. Maybe a little in here. And so what I'm doing, as always, is following the lines that are already there, so that whatever I do will feel more organic. Trying to decide where I want the white spots to be. Maybe a little here. Could follow this line. I think if I can get white into these areas, this will look more alive. So now that I've added the white, I have to blend it in more. And the best tool for that is the thinnest skewer. You know, like how bamboo skewers come in different sizes. The thinnest one you have is the best for something like this, because it will let you pull thin lines that you can sort of marry to lines that are already there. So that's what I'm going to work on now, is making these feel like they're part of what's going on. So this one, I'm going to follow the lines that are there. Maybe make this go around this entire sort of pocket. And then you can also feather it in a little bit like that. I don't know that that would have happened naturally in a pour, but it's pretty, so I'm gonna have that happen. Then you can break up the white with the other colors that surround by dragging the other colors in. So I'm bringing this cream into the white just to make it less loudly white. I will do some of that here too. And sometimes just spiraling into the color can make it more marbly. I have to be super careful in this area because they're really delicate, veiny lines here, so I don't want to mess those up. This sort of thing, honestly, is one of my favorite things to do. Now, see this biggish patch of white? I've made it come to a really fine point on both ends, and I am almost gonna maybe just leave it like this now. I might feather this in a little bit, but I may just leave it as a larger white area. I might break up that straightish line. I don't know. I'll think about that one. And then to break up this little patch of gray that's a little too overly gray, I'm not going to add white. That would be too stark a contrast, so I'm going to bring in some of the cream and do the same sort of thing, just to wake this area up. And I'm just dunking my stick into the runoff that's on the table. And a little hint of green that I picked up from the runoff. Maybe add a little bit of that here. Just little branches of it. It's so little, but it's just enough. And then a little bit here too. This little patch of green happened naturally in the pour, so I'm going to add a few little wisps of green in this vicinity before calling this done. I think you've come to see that the dried version of my paintings tend to look pretty much the same as the last views you see of them wet, like you're seeing here. That tends to be because I spend some time working on them, and they do all the changes they're going to do while I'm working on them. So I'll spare you the view of the dried version unless it's really different. This pour wasn't exactly what I was aiming for, but I think the result was beautiful in an organic, earthy, seashell sort of way. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave a thumbs up if you did, let me know in the comments, and remember to subscribe if you're new, or if you've just been procrastinating. Okay, now go let your creative nature out to play, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.